Hey folks, how's everybody doing today? It's a peace and quiet time. Been a busy couple of days. So, thought maybe we'd chew through some headlines. What the fuck? Kind of bored. Besides, for some reason you people seem to like the headline stuff. Let's start with this one. Media is under no obligation to listen to Trump's allegations. Jack Schaefer from Politico. He's 100% right. Media is not news. See? It's the word thing. That's how they get around everything these days. The mainstream media used to be the news when I was growing up. Then I guess in like the 80s, yeah, more or less, we started diversity, so we would bring in attractive women to read the news who couldn't pronounce words like Tajikistan. And nobody bothered to prep them before they came on, so she's ridiculously hot. Whether or not she's modified didn't make a difference. She was just a good-looking girl. Usually blonde, by the way. Complete and total airhead. If you ever listen to Dirty Laundry, Don Henley, I think, or Glenn Fry, one of the Eagles guys. I think it's Don Henley, though. The bubble-headed bleach blonde comes on at 5. That's what he was talking about. That was, that was not the death of news. Apparently Cronkite was a big fucking commie and everybody trusted him. There's no such thing as news, folks. Best you get is infotainment, or you can listen to opinion guys and then formulate your own opinion. Usually the opinion guys are at least a little better at it. The Blue Party's embrace of spy state abuse is wrong and bad politics. No shit. And again, I will tell you, the only reason they're blue is because they know that red is the color of communism, and they decided there was going to be a color thing. Abuse of power and hoaxes cry out for accountability. They really cry out for is a rope, some tar, some feathers. But it is what it is. Whoopi asked Chris Christie who he'd sacrifice to reopen the beaches. Chris Christie's not the governor anymore, Whoopi. And how about her? You know what? That's wrong, and that's mean, and that's racist. How about all the broads on the View? Friggin' cackling hags. We want to sacrifice all of them to reopen the beaches for Memorial Day, which is big money for New Jersey. Such is life, folks. I'm telling you, I sit here and shake my head more every day. Colorado amends coronavirus death count, says fewer have died of COVID-19 than previously reported. They rolled it down 272 from 1,000 to 878, according to a report. But how many death certificates have they been faking? Everywhere. Because there's that federal buyback program, $13,000 a head. When the morticians and coroners out of New York are coming out and saying, this is what's going on, and then it gets shut down by the media, you gotta wonder. My brother was here, is visiting today. He's completely out of his fucking mind over this shit. I told you, folks, I have survived every engineered pandemic in the last 20 years, and I'm in healthcare. You know that guy that says, take a nice deep breath and hold still? That's this guy. The change came after Colorado's Department of Public Health admitted that its COVID-19 death toll was counting those who tested positive for coronas, but had died of other causes. On a lighter note, 19 died in Chicago this weekend of gunshot-related coronavirus, right? Is that how that's going to work? 19 is a low number. 19 is like a Thursday night in Chicago. You know what I'm saying, right? Oh, these people kill me. Justin Amash cancels bid for White House. Justin, nobody fucking likes you. And the fact that you have so much money tied up in China really means no. No, I want you nowhere near fucking policy. Tourist in Hawaii after he posted pictures of himself at the beach. Why else would you go to Hawaii? I'm not going there for the gun rights. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, the beer has gotten better, though. A New York City tourist in Hawaii. Well, first of all, why would you let anybody from New York City go to Hawaii if New York City is the fucking hotspot for pandemic? Just saying. Violated the state's quarantine rule after he shared pictures of himself on Instagram at the beach. Why are they looking up his Instagram account? And who turned him in? Probably another fucking shithead from New York. New cover bill would give people $6,000 per household. You know how magicians work. I want you to take a look at this hand while I do the shady shit with this hand. Pay attention here, not over here. I'm going to give you $6,000 here, and I'm going to do all kinds of horrible shady shit because I'm Nancy Pelosi over here. So, aside from funding illegals, free public abortions, there was some other really heinous shit in there. The $3 trillion stimulus package was fucking horrible. Well, there are idiots that are going to say, $6,000. Well, the problem is, and it's a basic economic thing, this is what we need a $25 minimum wage people don't understand. It's all synced. There's a great meme that goes around and shows you 6 silver quarters and says something like, in 1962, you could get, and it gives you a list of things you could buy with $1.50 in 1962. We were still on silver certificates. And then it shows you the same thing now. There's a list of what you can buy and what it costs in today's. And when you look at what the going price is for silver right now versus what the prices are, they're literally about the same. Although fill up your tank with gas for $1.50 back then is, I don't know, shit, gas is actually cheaper. It's $1.89, but let's say $60. So it kind of equaled out. It was interesting as fuck, and I just sat there because I look at the silver prices all the time. Because aside from food, water, and other stuff you want to have in your house, it doesn't hurt to have silver. I live in Arizona. We can trade in precious metals out here. I can pay you silver for doing work for me. But this whole $6,000, dude, anybody that offers you a fucking deal like that, don't fucking trust them. Germans in the 1,000 protest lockdown. Are those actual Germans? Or is that Ahmed born in Germany now? Here comes the victim shaming. Political trashes. Terry. Didn't we just read a Politico article earlier? That was bullshit too. Yep. Kayleigh McEnany lays out #Obamagate. Oh, #Obamagate. I watched a presser with her this morning. The kid's a sharp cookie. She just does not take shit from these people. I like the last one too. Huckabee Sanders, she was good too. They take no shit from these fucking reporters because they know the reporters are full of shit. But she keeps notes, and when they bring shit up, she fucking hangs them out to dry. It's awesome. Is what it is. China threatens Republican lawmakers. Their responses are perfect. Republican-led efforts to hold China accountable for the spread of the Wuhan coronavirus are being closely watched by the communist regime. State-run media reported Thursday that Republican lawmakers will face severe consequences for speaking out against China. Can't actually kill Americans because they said bad things about the Chinese. Pursuing lawsuits and pushing anti-China legislation. Republicans who have been groundlessly accusing China and inflaming the holding China accountable political farce will face severe consequences, sources said, noting that the aftermath will also impact the upcoming November elections, while business and trade between Missouri and China will be further soured. Okay. Should get everybody the fuck out of China. Except, there are guys like Amash who have all their investments there. Or Mittens. Mittens got some big holdings in China, too. How many of the rest of these fuckers? The U.S. is dramatically overcounting coronavirus deaths. We already know this. This is not news. Over 86,500 people have reportedly died in the United States from coronavirus, and the fear generated by those deaths is driving public policy debate. It is fear porn. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It was a really interesting book, and the subtext of the book, the name of the book is State of Fear, but the subtext of the book was the way the media uses fear to make money and drive public opinion. And that's all they do. You don't see happy fucking stories anymore. Maybe like Good Morning America. This 103-year-old veteran of World War II, once in a great blue moon. But otherwise, fear porn, Trump is bad, more fear porn, and stay inside, or if you walk outside the door, you'll burst into fire in the sunlight like a vampire. Do your friends a favor, try and wake him up. I tried to go through this with my brother, and he didn't want to listen to me. He just has the dissonance on. Now, he is in that bottom range of, he's in his 60s, so he's those guys that are really starting to worry. Dude, what do I do for a living? Where have I worked for the last 30 years? I'm around sick people all the fucking time. And none of those diseases has killed me. Just saying. The case definition is very specific. It means at the time of death, it was a COVID positive diagnosis. That means if you were in hospice and had already been given a few weeks to live and then found to have COVID, that would be counted as a COVID death. It means technically, even if you died of clear alternative cause, but you had COVID at the time, it's still listed as a COVID death. Here's what people should understand about this. Talking to my mom. My mom's at the end of the race here. She's getting ready. She's 91. She's fucking allowed, right? She did her time before the mast. Just live out the rest of your days happy. That's all I want for anybody, really, anyway. We go round and round on what she needs to do. She needs to help me. You need to walk. You need to do your exercises. I wasn't... So, lady, here's the notes that the facility gave me when they shipped you home of what you were doing. They're lying. I said, they can't lie. If they get caught committing fraud, they lose their Medicare funding. They lose their Medicare funding. That's a huge chunk of dollars. That's exactly what this is. This is fucking Medicare fraud. This is literal Medicare fraud from the government end. Okay? What they're doing is wrong. I don't care who fucking perpetrates it. Incidentally, I took a good look at her bill for her stay. $91,896. $91,896. She was in there a little over a month. Wonder why healthcare in this country is so fucked. Get the government out of it. Make insurance wide open. Okay? Get rid of anything fucking Obamacare, and don't give me any shit about, well, what about pre-existing conditions? If insurance companies have to fight for your business, everybody will accept your pre-existing condition. And remember, there was a time when insurance companies worked in the margins. They moved so many policies that the healthy people covered the sick people because the healthy people never fucking used it. It used to work that way. Granted, hospitals also used to be non-profit, and so they were willing to take a loss that they could write off against their balance sheet. Hey, I wasn't the one that made hospitals for profit. Thanks, Tricky Dick. Beaches will be open for Memorial Day in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Delaware. That's fine. They should be. Fucking Memorial Day. Vitamin D, sunshine, ultraviolet radiation. This all kills the fucking bug, right? We are one multi-state region. That's true. It is the tri-FEMA camp area. What one state does will affect the other states. Como highlighted that 50% capacity was allowed but would be enforced by controlling exits and entrances and limited parking, while playgrounds, pools, and concessions would remain shut. I didn't elect him. I didn't elect de Blasio. I have no idea why New Yorkers even stay in New York. I was talking to a good friend of mine who's going to stay there, and I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. You get 3 years, you're going to pull the plug. Why the fuck would you stay in New York? It's the greatest city in the world. It was once, a long time ago. Fucking cesspool. Well, I'm going to go live in the Republican stronghold. There is no Republican stronghold. That's the fucking Alamo, you moron. Nobody survived the Alamo. People keep forgetting that one. Everybody fucking died. They fought to the last man. Everybody fucking died. Not the hill I want to die on. And sure as hell don't want to pay all that fucking money. Pompeo fires deep state IG Steve Linick, an Obama holdover who worked with Democrats during the sham impeachment. Theoretically, Trump had no idea what the fuck he was doing when he walked in. And it's the truth. Politics was not his game. Businessman. He still should have fired everybody from the fucking Obama administration, regardless of the screeching from the fucking left creatures. He's Obama fired everybody. Obama fired fucking everybody. He didn't hold on to anybody. Those were all Bush pointees, nobody bitched, but Obama's black and he's the God Emperor. Fuck you. No fucking traitorous piece of shit. Remake all his posters into rope and change. The world would be a much better place. New York Times publishes hit piece on renowned French doctor who identified inexpensive cure for coronavirus. Top critic linked to Gilead and Remdesivir. I'm fucking shocked. I'm not. They're all in his hand and fucking hand. You are a serf in the fields, my friend. They literally look at you as a fucking poo-flinging monkey. They are untouchable. You are the great unwashed. Those people. Author Dr. Andrew Bostom. Americans must disregard Dr. Fauci's pediatric panic porn. Yes, they must. The pediatric numbers are so low, it's friggin' ridiculous. I mean, cratered. So low, it's ridiculous. But the one kid died, he had CF or something? Cystic fibrosis, something like that? Otherwise, the safest place to be during this coronavirus pandemic is under 18. Archdiocese of St. Louis to close 3 schools due to financial strain caused by coronavirus, including Holy Trinity in the inner city. If it was up to them, they would close every school that wasn't a government-run indoctrination center, just so you know. And God forbid you should teach Christianity. Ooh, that's bad. Christianity's the religion of people who just want to kill everybody. And I have a hard time finding that anywhere in the New Testament. Saying. President Trump retweets Michelle Malkin video on big tech censorship, so Twitter censors tweet and deletes the video. They can't do that. There was that big lawsuit a couple of years ago when Trump tried to block somebody, and they said, well, you can't do that because as president, your tweets are part of the public record. They have to be. It's the law. It's just like your, there's letters to Kim Jong-il that go back and forth because he didn't trust anybody to talk to him. Those will all be saved in his fucking presidential library or whatever. Same thing with his Twitters. You can't censor them. They did. Twitter needs to be fucking shut down. 1920. I'm just going to tear through the last couple. Washington State Governor walks back Orwellian rule to force restaurants to keep a log of all customers, including contact information. Fucking you. Yeah, that's my name. Here's my address, 1234 Kiss My Ass Street. You want my phone number? Dial 1-800-BLOWME. Okay? Understand? None of your fucking business, shit for brains. We did Justin Amash, so fuck him. Power-hungry Mayor Garcetti says LA beaches will only be open for exercise on wet sand, no sunbathing on dry sand. Unless you want to take a shit in the dry sand or maybe shoot a little dope. then it's okay. But make sure you're only shitting or shooting up. We won't have any shenanigans and malarkey in Los Angeles. Another guy needs to be drug out. He looks good in black and white, and tuxedos. Tarred feathers are technically black and white, I think. China admits to destroying early coronavirus sample, but insists it's not a cover-up. Then what the fuck is it? You tell me. Trump warns McConnell on failure to hold Democrats accountable for Russia collusion hoax. Mitch is a deep state creature. He's part of the Uniparty. Doesn't like Trump very much. We know this. But he wants to look like he does. We'll see what happens, but when push comes to shove, he's going to fuck me and you. Because that's what they do. And we did the Colorado story already, and Florida follow the blah, 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 blah. See, we're over 20 minutes. Florida drops charges against pastor who held service in defiance of shutdown orders because, shit for brains, you're violating the First Amendment. Yeah. Look it up, folks. If you don't know what the First Amendment says, go online, take a look. Actually, read the entire Bill of Rights. Completely blow your mind. Colorado inmate released from jail to slow the spread of COVID-19. Rearrested and accused of first-degree murder. Shocker. We should really change the name of this to fucking No Shit Sherlock and just do those stories all day long. We're gonna run over because this woman needs to be pilloried. She really does. We'll just get rid of all whites in the United States. CDC chair of advisory committee on immunization lashes out at white Americans. It's okay though because they're white. But if she said we got to get rid of all the Asians or the Mexicans or the Latinx or the colored folk, fucking heads would explode. Dr. Carol Baker was appointed chair of the CDC Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices in 2009. Let me stroke my chin here for a second and remember who was president in 2009. Carol is well known for her work in immunization and education. India literally threw Bill Gates out of the fucking country and stopped the immunization of polio with his vaccine because of the 500,000 polio cases his vaccine caused in India. Causation not being correlation, but observations matter. The Houston doctor sat on an expert panel. The Houston doctor sat on an expert panel of experts sponsored by the National Meningitis Association in New York City on May 9, 2016 in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. During the panel discussion, the far left doctor took a swipe at Donald Trump and white Americans. Dr. Barker told the gathered audience, "I have the solution. Every study published in the last 5 years, when you look at vaccine refusers, I'm not talking about hesitants. Most of them we can talk into coming to terms, but refusers, we'll just get rid of all the whites in the United States. Guess who wants to get vaccinated the most? Immigrants." I know. You folks don't believe that there's a fucking one world hegemony, New World Order, Illuminati, whatever, fucking Zionists, the Jews, whatever. All I know is every time I look, I keep seeing over the top of the box, and this is the shit that pops up. Okay? We need to destroy the white civilization in the United States so that we can destroy the Constitution. And then, when it's nothing but immigrants who have no idea what their fucking God-given rights are, or natural rights, depending on how you stand on the issue, just re-enslave them like the good peasants they are, because they're peons, peasants after all. They're not white people. She's white, by the way. I guess she's a wino. White name only. That's it, folks. I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for popping in. Welcome to all the new folks, and thanks for spreading it around. I appreciate it. Make me expand like Corona. The Corona Cast. Adios, folks.